Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. I am Debbie G, and it's time for a cup of grata with a shot of expression and two squirts of today. Well, actually, three squirts of reality. I have two awesome co-squirts. You guys know them and love them. Michael Ronin and Leland Holgate Sr. Hello,
Good morning.
gentlemen. Good morning. Cup of grata to you.
Yes, and to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so stoked that both of you are here again. And today we're going to be talking all about breath work and total body rejuvenation. And I'm going to be talking about my body rejuvenation. You know how much I love to be everyone's guinea pig. Me, please, please, please be mine. So, musical chairs. So I'm going to make you bigger than me. So, gentlemen, let me just start off by saying I'm really grateful you're here this morning and I want to talk about this. So, here's some interesting stuff that happens in my life. Sometimes I drop the ball and it goes, psh, and I get phone calls and they say, "Hey, yo, we're supposed to be live today." And I'm like, "Oh, shit, look at that. I did it again."
Sounds like a Britney Spears song, right?
Oops, I did it again. And it was my fault. Sorry.
It's all good though. We flow, right?
But you know, the thing about life is that, especially lately, as things have been scrolling along, and I see a tech issue or I see a tech mishap, let me tell you, it's Mercury retrograde, and I'm not real huge on it, but let's just look at this, okay? Last night I hear it's Mercury retrograde. I'm listening to Tiki Talk, and it's all about this chick talking about, travel and tech, and I'm like, so I've had both of those today. That's quite interesting. So yesterday I had to go to the doctor. I had to go see the hematologist because I need iron. And I'm on my way and I know how to get there. I don't know. But I took these squirrely whirly turns and I'm in Southern California. Something that should take me 25 minutes max. Took me an hour and a half. I went to some address dude, they didn't even update their address in the freaking Google. So I'm looking around and I'm like, sweet, cool excuse for me being really, really late, not just 15 minutes late. So that's good. And then I sat there and thought, if I'm supposed to see the doctor, I'm going to see the doctor. If I'm not supposed to see the doctor, this has been a fun experience in letting go, relaxing into life, and letting whatever happens because I'm over it right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. We've been there plenty of times ourselves too,
Yes.
right? Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Lord help me. I swear to you. It's like, what the hell? And the low iron thing. So let's talk about that for real. I've let this go for a while. I've always had this issue. So here I am needing another iron transfusion, which isn't abnormal because I can't take regular iron, right. And I don't absorb it. So this is what happens. And I let it go too far this time. And what's funny about this is that when I had Spirit come at me the other day saying, if you're going to teach self-care, little missy, you're going to have to do it yourself. And I'm like, whatever. Fine.
Easier said than done, right? I know, easier said than done.
You're so spot on that though, right? Because how often it's like we have all these tools, right? We have these tools that we're offering. You got all these tools that you're already doing, right? All this stuff. And it's like, oh, I should have this, right? I got all these. I know what to do. I've read that book. I've done that thing. I practiced this, and right. And the reality is that the work never ends. No. And the moment you think you got it, the universe is like, great, let's test that. Right? Yeah. How committed are you? And so we get the opportunities again to be like, oh, I'm in it again. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Step one.
And this funny thing happens, right? For us, for the light workers, we have to remind ourselves constantly to do the breath work, do the things that we know, use the pieces, just like the maid's house is probably messy as hell. Yeah. And the dude that fixes cars,
it's always the last
his crap is run down constantly.
Okay, I got one. I was a graphic artist for 20 years. I don't know if I've ever had my own business card.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, really,
it can be a mess, and the maid's house is a mess, and all you graphic artists doesn't have their cards made.
Well, but that's not okay. But Spirit said, "Oh no, dear, you're going to do it yourself." And I'm like, geez, man. So that's what it's about. And what you both are here today to talk about is one, how Debbie gets how Debbie's getting her.
Her groove back.
Well, no, how down, what was that? Downer Debbie turns right side up. That's what it is.
I love that.
We can do that. We can totally do that.
That's what we specialize in.
I'm gonna tell you guys, we had so much fun the other night. We were here, I'll make us bigger okay, so check it out. The other night we were having a love fest, and afterwards you guys were hanging out in the Zoom room, and we had Christina Leary on there, and she's a crack up. She's a comedian.
Hilarious.
Too funny.
She's hilarious. And these two don't have their shirts on, which we're all just like, all right. I mean, truthfully, for me, it's like I'm so used to it, because if you go to spiritual events and stuff, it's usually clothing optional. So we don't really think about it much anymore. It's just naked, body parts. All right. It's not really a thing. So it was kind of interesting, because she boldly says, "You guys don't have shirts on. You know that, right?" And I'm like, anybody else notice?
Yeah, she went on with that bit for like a little bit, and I was cracking up. My gut was hurting from laughing so hard. I had like, you get the sore jaw because you realize, holy crap, I've been smiling for like 20 minutes straight.
Right. It was funny, and she was playing on the fact that we were in separate rooms, but the lighting that was so funny.
One of them's looking at the other one, and then they're looking this way, and then there's a dark spot, and then the other one's in the light. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Totally. But here's what I got to say. If that's what it looks like with their shirts off, gentlemen, if you're watching, and ladies, we need to be following what they're doing, okay? Because, I mean, I'm 54, almost 55 years old, and what I'm discovering is I'm not old. I'm just getting younger. In fact, my doctor yesterday, who's been my doctor since 2012, said, "You look really good."
And you do.
And I'm
right.
Well, you know what's tripping on that? Because I'm all sitting there going, well, but wait a minute. No, because I've got this extra 25 pounds I'm not thrilled with right now, And she's just like looking at me. And I mean, I instantly wanted to battle her. Okay. Could I even tell you?
Do you want to give her a good shake?
No, I don't. You don't understand. I don't look like I did when I was 40 anymore.
You know what's funny though is if you close your eyes, everyone should do this, right? If you close your eyes and you just take a big breath in, right? Just let that one go, right? Come into the presence now, exhale it out. And then breathe in again. And this time at the top of that breath, ask yourself, how old do I feel?
I feel okay. Is this mentally or physically?
Okay, let's take another breath then, right? How young do I physically feel in this breath hold? And then exhale that one out, right?
I would say honestly my 30s.
Bam.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
And then as you start to do these practices, the breath work, the consistent meditation, the detachment exercises,
huge,
massive. Right?
Actually, I think that's a really good one today. I want to say hello to Nikki from Las Vegas. Hey.
What's up, Nikki?
Hey, Nikki.
Okay, and other Facebook users, good morning.
So, she's one of our warriors, by the way. That's one of my sisters.
Hey, nice to meet you. Okay, so let's talk about that, because again, there's been a lot of people talking about the energy lately, but I am the believer that we control our own destiny, we control our energy, and that Mercury retrograde is simply here for us to practice.
Boom. And that's the biggest piece. That's the biggest piece.
So let's talk about those practices, because that's what you guys are really good at. And I'm going to switch it back over, and let's discuss what is a detachment process that you guys go through.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love detachment processes. I would like to start with saying that the understanding of detachment, a lot of people I have noticed do take this. I don't want to say do this the wrong way, but take this in a tone or concept that takes them away from presence. So a lot of people, detachment is I'm going to detach from these cords and these people and these events, and they become lethargic, flatline, right? You become so not attached to anything, but even to self, right? And so you don't take in joy and presence. So a great way of detachment is like, I'll go through and I'll do a little bit of breath. And so let's experiment with this, right? Let's dive in a little bit and let's see how you feel. All right. So let's just do a couple of breaths real quick, right? So take a big breath in. And now I want you to force it all out. And now through your nose, breathe in and out through your nose. In and out through your nose. And expand your chest big. Out with sound. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Again, in. Out. And one more. Breathe it in and hold it. And now with your eyes closed, holding that breath, I want you to ask yourself, who am I? And as you begin to exhale, repeat to yourself, I am not the body. I am not the thought.
I am not the body. I am not
the thoughts.
the thoughts.
Yep. And I am not the emotions. And now continue to breathe slow through your belly and visualize yourself as an energetic being of light. And see all these cords attached to you. Okay? See them as white cords. And now I want you to go through and repeat to yourself, whether verbally or internally, I, the soul, completely detach, release all cords from all people, all places, all time, all space, all events and beliefs in my life now. We'll do it again. Take a breath in. Still seeing those chords. Repeat to yourself, I, the soul, completely, fully cut and disintegrate all cords from all people, all places, all time, all space, all events and beliefs in my life, past, present, future, now. And take your hand, whichever feels comfortable. See it as a white saber of light. Breathe in, and as you exhale, cut all the cords in front of you. And as you see them pulling away, send a violet flame and send back with love and light. And repeat to yourself, I, the soul, release anything that is not mine. And just like how when you cut the grass, the roots are still in there, begin to start to grab the roots out of your body where those cords once were and release them. I, the soul, release all that is not mine. I release all that is not mine. I release all that is not mine. And we'll take it one step further now, because you are an empowered being. And all day long, in every interaction, not only do cords connect to us, but we release and give away our power. And so in this moment, take a breath in and affirm, I, the soul, call back all of my power into the soul I am from all people, places, time, space, events, from all infinite planes of existence now. And again, with your next inhale, breathe in. And again, I, the soul, with more authority, call back all my power from all people, all places, all time, all space and events, from all directions, in all dimensions, now. And settle in.
Yeah. Magical, right?
I'm all good now.
And and this is the thing that we love to teach people, right? Is so many people give away their power and their choice by saying things like, Mercury's in retrograde. I hear you. And that has no play over whether we choose to hold on to those attachments, to hold on to those cords, or whether we want to focus on things going out of whack. It's still our choice.
Yeah.
To disconnect, even during those points where so many people feel like Mercury retrograde, communication, and all these, all the digital things are going to go crazy. Well, I mean, there may be some small piece of that, but it doesn't have to mean that you have to be out of whack. You can move through these practices that we teach whenever you want.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And I think an important piece then to that is that in the detachment, not only you're releasing the cords, and you're releasing the root of those cords. So it's not so easy to have someone, whether
Reattach.
intentional or not intentional, vampire off you, right?
Right.
But then you're drawing all your power back. Now, the key, I think, though, is that detaching from that moment, from those events, from the power that they can have over you is different than saying, I am not dealing with anything.
Yeah.
That is actually not calling back your power. That's actually giving it away even more. So it's not about the world sucks and everything should go away. It's about, I am a sovereign being of light, and I'm an empowered individual, and I lovingly give back what is not mine.
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
No matter what the intention or lack thereof was on somebody attaching to you, I am giving that back to you and sending it back to you with love and light. I'm calling back in my power so that I can be a power center to be able to share my light with others.
Absolutely.
Staying present.
I really love this because that's exactly what I felt was when I pulled my power back, I got truth chills.
Love it.
Yeah.
And right in that moment, I was like, I'm a healer. I know how to do this.
Yeah.
I'm a healer. I know how to do this. This is what I do.
Yeah.
And I stepped into that, remembering who I am. Remembering who I am is I'm a divine being. I have angel wings.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. I love it.
I love it.
And little horns that hold up my halo now and then, which I absolutely appreciate as well. Those are called my ego horns, and I love those.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to have you both address is taking it easy on yourself, because right now there's something that's so big for me, and that is when you have something going on physically. Trying's lying. I either do or don't.
Right.
I am working on being easy with myself because that's just required.
Yes.
But let's talk about why we're not easy on ourselves first.
Sure.
Past trauma, blame, shame.
There's a lot of that. Yeah. And it's, it comes from, a lot of what he was highlighting, right, is that piece of us projecting and giving away our power. That becomes a real thing, which once we do that, we're now connecting not to what somebody else made us feel or what society made us feel, but what we ourselves are allowing ourselves to mire in. Yeah. And that's where being easy on yourself and moving with ease and grace and realizing that whatever you're dealing with in this moment right here is temporary. This too shall pass. And there's this big piece as well.
On both sides of the spectrum.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like no matter what, there's always, crests and troughs. It is never going to be all good. It is never going to be all bad or just neutral. So realizing that whatever you're going through right now And for instance, if you're laying in bed and you just have to take a day for yourself, don't beat yourself up. Try to avoid all of that, because obviously your body is speaking to you. Your soul is speaking to you, and it's telling you what it wants. Your body and your soul are speaking to you. And so many times we just close that off, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, where it starts depends on someone's past history, right?
Absolutely.
For some people, it's the past lineage, the parents. And what I find fascinating is in the process of detachment, you really kind of dive into this, where let's say your parent has this trauma that they haven't gone through, or that they're in, but they don't even know that they're in it. So they're not even working on it. And let's say it wasn't even theirs to begin with. Let's say it was their parents. Okay. So now, while the parents were alive, even if they were trying to detach from it, every time that they do, the parent is still alive. If they're not working on it, it translates and keeps going. And so as the person now, so let's say my mother has stuff that she's going through, right? And let's say she doesn't even recognize certain things that need to be released or processed. So then what happens is that I go through and I see, oh, these are things that I'm getting from her. This problem that I'm recirculating, this fear of lack, okay, is constantly coming. Well, the source then was from my mother. Well, okay, so now I go through and I do these detachment exercises and so on. And then what happens is like, wow, why did it come back again? I just released that, right? Well, my mother's still alive. And so she, whatever level that she's working on her own stuff, is still presenting, because she's not done with it. And so it doesn't matter how many times I detach from it, it's still going to keep coming up until either A, she resolves it in her lifespan, which then dissolves it in mine, which I've actually watched some of my own stuff with my daughter. As I go through and release it, it shifts in her. But the other option is that when my mother transitions out of her physical vessel, now I have it again, but I get to deal with it, process it, and release it. And then it ends with me.
Now, I have a question about that, though. Okay, so my mother is not dealing with her trauma.
Mhm.
She's dealing with her trauma by ignoring me.
Yeah.
Well,
Very typical for most of us.
I love you, mommy. Love it. I actually do. I adore my mom. My mom is this cute redheaded fireball, Dr. Rita Garcia. She's a badass. She taught me to be a warrior. I am her oldest child.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, the lineage of sexual abuse that I come from is freaking gnarly, man. My mom, honestly, I think her abuse is probably worse than anybody's that I've ever heard of in my life. She's not dealing with it. So I've been working on healing my own, but what about in reverse? What about the daughter actively seeking to go into that timeline and heal in another parallel dimension, and then pull that in to here? What do you think about that?
I love, if I can jump on that one. Yeah, I love that you said that, because there is a value to that. So one of the greatest practices that helped me get through some trauma loops that no matter how much work I was doing, I was having trouble escaping, was the discovery of unconditional, and I do mean unconditional, love and forgiveness. Okay. And the process, it's a process, but let's give you the Cliff Note version. The process is, you go through and let's say you visualize Edward. Okay. Edward's in the mix today. I don't know. So you visualize Edward.
That's
right?
funny. That is funny. My dad's name is Joseph Edward.
Stop it. Oh my goodness. Okay.
No,
so there you go.
So is, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Good.
So all right. So we go in there and we say, we visualize Edward and the acts that were done. And we say, I unconditionally detach and lovingly forgive all your past lineage, traumas, blames, and shames. I forgive you and anyone that you have hurt in all generational past, present, and future.
Yeah.
And then I unconditionally love you, sending love and light. Now, here's the other piece, and this is a really important part, is I ask for unconditional love for anyone that so you can go general with this, for anyone that I may have hurt or my ancestors may have hurt in this generation and past generations. And I ask for unconditional love and forgiveness for any future hurts, wrongs, or otherwise, right? And so you go through, and essentially what you're doing is you're saying, I'm forgiving you for myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to actually talk with this person. I'm talking with their soul. I'm talking with their energetic light body. By giving this unconditional forgiveness and shedding love, because for whatever their trauma loop was, this whole thing we talk about perspective, whether a thing's good or bad is simply a viewpoint.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so this allows you, this re-empowers you. I was a victim of child abuse, physical and sexual,
Okay.
and a whole bunch of other things. And the thing is that at the end of the day, I love who I am, scars and all.
Yeah.
And if I hold on to that trauma as a bad thing that occurred, not saying that I would have preferred that, right? But I don't know. What if the worst thing that happened to you is the best thing that happened for you? I couldn't be who I am right now had I not gone through all those things. I might be a version of what I am had those things not happened, but I don't know. There's infinite possibilities. What I do know is I went through these things, and I can either sit in a cyclical loop and look in that rear view mirror as if it's the front view mirror all the time, revisiting the past, trying to release something that's consistently in my face.
Correct.
Or I cannot ignore it. It's not like, oh, that didn't happen. It's this happened. And
that's right.
Yeah.
And
notice generations work right now is releasing these things.
Well, and I'm loving this because, and the reason I love this so much is the work I've done around this. Now I'm going to take this to, I love this. So right now where we are at, and Clint really kind of put it in a nutshell, letting love be bigger than the action.
Yes.
Letting love be bigger than the action. And it's true. So I want to bring in compassion into this.
Yeah.
And compassion, the way I have done this is that anyone that I've considered a perpetrator, the way I look at it is this. We've all decided to come here. I fully believe that. We've all chose our mission here. Without your dark, you wouldn't know your spark, period.
Yeah.
Period. And that book's coming.
Good. I can't wait.
I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm giving myself a deadline, the end of the summer. So, but here's the thing. And this is going to be a far stretch for anybody who hasn't done their work yet. So trigger warning. Okay. And then you'll need to be in Michael and Leland's class on Saturday to do your breath work, to do the really big releases. Yeah. What I love is that doing quick release breath work with you guys right now, because I do the work, I'm able to, the reminder is like, oh shit, I'm right here. See, because the universe, God said, I want you with Leland and Michael this morning, Debbie, because it's been a thing right now and you need this. I'm so grateful. And I just want to appreciate you both.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Absolutely.
As I step into being compassionate for the perpetrator, or the one you consider perpetrator, the one we consider, whoever that might be in your life, whether it's been someone you've been married to and your experience was being battered, whether that you were brought up and you had childhood abuse of some kind. And literally, I think every child on this earth has had some sort of abuse, even if it's on the playground.
Right.
Yeah.
But the compassion is, if we all decided to come here at the same time to do this thing, meet up in each other's life and create this polarity, the person who's creating the polarity that's causing the pain for the other person. Now, I'm going to say that they gave up an awfully extraordinary experience being human to be an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel bad for it, right?
I mean, well, actually, I have compassion for the fact that love is so great that we're willing to come here and not be so great if that means that the other soul can expand into their divinity.
Well,
Absolutely.
and again, I think that's part of that perspective thing, though, too, right? Because some of what we would consider as a collective the worst atrocities in the world, right? That person, that entity, whatever the situation was, may well have felt that they were in the right, doing the right thing.
Yeah, it's based off their past traumas, right? And I think that's where that compassion comes in, is you have compassion for them. Like for my father, who just destroyed me my whole childhood. It took a lot of work, like you said, a lot of work to give compassion to him, to realize, man, he must have been going through something horrible.
Serious, right? I mean, Jesus.
Like he had to have had some shit happen to him.
That doesn't mean what they did is right. That doesn't mean what they did is
true. Yeah,
okay,
there's a difference
right or wrong.
between acceptance and tolerance, right? I can tolerate these things with compassion. Don't have to accept that that was right at all.
Correct. And the reason I preface that with that is because if you really, people are going to fight back if it's, when it's not meeting their story of victim. Okay. But with the idea here is totally, so we want to heal it.
Yeah.
We don't want to continue in it. And you two are magnificent at helping people heal through that. And that's what we are here talking about today. If you're just joining us, watching the replay, this is a deep subject. When we talk about the pains of the past and the things we've been through, and I know firsthand what that feels like. I know what it first feels like to be in my victim so much that I just called more of it to me, and I called more of it to me, and I called more of it to me. Notice I keep saying notice I'm not talking about the perpetrator anymore. Notice I'm not even talking about the story.
Exactly. Correct.
You guys aren't talking about the story. You guys aren't getting detailed stories. I know y'all love a story, but that's not what you need. What you need to know is the story's there, but we've changed it. And today, the story I tell is I am victorious over these things and compassionate for the people that help create the experience.
Yeah. And I think what you just said is really profoundly powerful, that I think a lot of people miss out on as well, is that regardless of what the background you've come through, right? And no matter how graceful or sloppy you've done it, okay? The truth is that you, as of this moment in now, have a perfect 1,000% success rate, because you're here right now.
Woo! That's for all of you watching. You have 100% success rate. You're still here. You're breathing.
Exactly.
And for those of you not here and not breathing still, you all know what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And I'm gonna venture to guess they're gonna make it through the rest of whatever they're going through now because of that success rate, right?
And on an energetic scale, okay, just to take it a different direction a little bit, right? Science would say that regardless of anyone's spiritual or religious beliefs, so on and so forth, energy exists.
Yeah.
And energy doesn't cease.
That's right.
Right? Energy is vibrational frequencies, right? And this body, this being of light, right? It houses from every cell of DNA beyond is energy, different levels and different frequencies, right? And so even though this body will eventually expire, what happens to energy when it meets an opposing force that it can't, right? It changes shape. Yeah. It just adapts. It becomes something else.
That's right.
Right. And so to me, fearing death is funny. It's silly, because death is a construct that we've come up with. Nothing ever ceases. It just changes.
That's right.
I lost my boy just in December. Right. And it was profound experience for me. It was actually the first time. I've had a lot of people and animals and stuff die throughout my life, right? Or leave or whatever. And it was the first time that I was actually touched by death.
Did you say that? Let me get this straight. Did you just say that your son died?
He was a dog, but
he was a dog. Yes. Well, but
Perfect.
That's okay. No, my dogs are my life.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah, you know, fur
So-
babies, they're
Yeah, I've had a lot of dogs, and I've had some die, and they're all special and they're all unique, right?
Mhm.
Tumo was my boy, Tumo Zen, and
Aw.
he was not. He was a human in a fursuit, hands down. He could box. He could do jujitsu. He would tell you "I love you," and you knew he said that because you heard him say "I love you," right?
Oh, that's so
And
lovely.
not in a barking sense, right? But he actually taught me in some of the most painful moments of my life. He actually taught me, and he was transitioned really quickly and abruptly, and he was the healthiest. I mean, I raised, everybody would say I want to be your dog when I die, because I raised him with grass-fed beef and probiotics and the real life. But he taught me unconditional love.
Mm.
He taught me that
Mhm.
no matter who I was, where I was in any given moment, if I was a jerk, that true love, not the like, oh, I'm digging this moment, I love you,
right.
or
The fluffy stuff.
or like, yeah, I love you. It's been like 30 years, but I still love you. It's cool, But like that, like, wow, you weren't super nice to me, and I have nothing but love for you.
Yeah.
Right. There was 2 events that occurred previous to him dying. There was a death of a relation. There was a death of a version of myself. There was all these pieces that happened. And there was all this transition, and all this work that we're sharing, right, created the ability to honestly, authentically teach this, because I've gone through all these different gamuts. But
Mhm.
even in that, I was understanding in that moment for the first time ever what true unconditional love and true unconditional forgiveness is. The ability to have somebody hurt you so badly that they could take a lifetime's worth of trauma, blame, shame, and all the work you've done to counteract that, and make that look like it was nothing in one go.
Mhm.
And still find yourself in that moment going through the steps of the work and realizing, like, wow, I have no ill will for you.
Yeah, and that's the biggest piece with our work, right? Is giving that unconditional forgiveness and love, not just to the person that hurts you, but also yourself, right? Because I think for a while, I know both of us, we talked about this, where you've dealt with so much, the loss that you dealt with and the end of the relationship, that sometimes we jam in on ourselves, like you were talking about.
Easily.
So you give that unconditional forgiveness and love to that person, then also give it to yourself with that ease and grace, and realize that what you're really doing with all the work that we're doing is the law of resonance. I know everybody likes to focus on law of attraction. I love it. Speak it.
Nah, it's frequency, baby. Let's
It
get
is.
it.
It
Get
is.
it.
Law of resonance states that what you vibrate at, your frequency is attuned. And now your Wi-Fi signal that you're putting off, that tuning fork that you are, you're going to call in whatever that is. So if you don't give that unconditional forgiveness and love to that person that hurts you, guess what you're about to call in more of?
Yeah.
The same.
Cracks the like.
Exactly. You're asking. That's why in society, we just re-traumatize ourselves every day, all day long. Oh, I can't believe they said that to me. Oh, I can't believe they said that to me. Like, are you going to do that the whole day and then just get more of that and then just traumatize yourself in this big spiral and circle? Or do you want to choose to let go of that, give forgiveness to the person that hurt or shamed or did whatever to you, and then give yourself that freedom as well?
And that's key, right? In the act of doing this, you're not doing it for them. It benefits them, whether directly to them or simply on the energetic plane. It benefits them, but you're doing it for you.
Yes.
You can release the bags. There's that old proverb of the man wanting to train with the master, and he's climbing up the mountain, right, with his backpack on, and right, and he picks up the rock, and the master comes up. He comes up and he wants to train with the master. And the master essentially is like, go back down, pick up some rocks. So he keeps stacking on these rocks. He's carrying up the thing, and before you know, he's like dredging this massive, right, which we are all doing through life. It's like, oh my god, I got more baggage. No, I'm good. And then he gets to the top, and he's like, the lesson in the long and the short of it for him to be able to be taught by him was, let go of that's not serving you. That bag full of rocks, of history, It's like taking that stack of photos and then sticking it in a box, like you're ever going to go back to it with any reality, right? And you know,
I love this. I wanted to do a shout out for all those of you that want to join in a example of what's going to be coming this Saturday. This Saturday is going to be an extraordinary experience. Again,
yes,
we have Unlock Your Potential, Hidden Secrets Revealed Part 2, honoring all veterans from every battlefield. And this is May 28th. That's this Saturday, 9 a.m., 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And the topics are EFT, tapping for self-regulation, trauma, blame, shame, PTSD, depression, anxiety, limiting beliefs. And the secret sauce is the breathwork, meditation, and your mindset. And I can tell you that after all these years of working on stuff, I need more and I need more, and it never stops. It's a continual thing. It's a practice. It's not magic. Well, it is kind of magic, but it's discovering the magic within you, you know. Thank you, Maria. The day I changed my narrative from victim to survivor changed my life. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Now imagine when you go from survivor to creator or
thriver,
creator,
thriver. Yeah.
That's your next step, right? Which I'm sure you're actually already doing, and you know, but that's that, right? It's like there's something that Abraham Hicks taught, and I it's always stuck with me. She was talking about how if somebody's specifically negative about something, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, and you know, Josephine walks in and she's like, you know, woohoo, life's great, right? That person's like, I want to eat your face, right? You know, and she's like, you know, like, oh, come on, let's, you know, you can, and it just irritates him even more. And why? Because that person's specifically negative and this person's specifically positive, and it's too far of a chasm, right? But you can start to create the chasm adjustment, building the bridge from helping that person get from specifically negative to generally negative. And then from generally negative, you can get to generally positive. And then from generally positive, now you can get to specifically positive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But it's a pathway and a journey. And it's not about putting my agenda into you. You know, Unlock Your Potential isn't about like, hey, these things work for us and they're going to work for you, and, you know, rah, rah, or, you know, you must do this. We're so attached to you to get this done. It's not that, right? This is decades of life, experience, tools that have been obtained, and teachings that have been refined to condense it down into a pathway that is shaped that everyone can, should they choose to, embrace, no matter what your lifestyle is. You don't need to have an expensive gym. You don't need to have 5 hours a day. You do not need to sit on the mountain like a monk and to find enlightenment or to find peace or to release the trauma, right? You need small moments of time. You need specific activities. You know, you need to allow yourself to remember who you are.
Exactly.
Beyond society.
Yes. Yes. And that's the biggest piece, right? And here in a minute, Debbie, if you'd like, we'll run everybody through a preview of what you're going to see on Saturday. And,
I would love that.
Everything that we put together, like he said, is decades of what we have gone through ourselves, and as well as the training that we've both had. And this is the beautiful piece. We have Qigong here and much more. And yoga here and much more, right? And I love it. Michael talks about it all the time. Back, 5,000 plus years ago, the Qigong masters and the yoga masters used to cross paths and come and join each other to trade secrets and to really spin that knowledge, that wisdom of the universe that we all have inside of ourselves. And that is essentially what we are teaching everybody. Is we literally have an experience that is hands down nowhere on this planet. You will not find what we're going to be taking you through in our program anywhere. And we're finally bringing that knowledge of the ancients out, because, everybody has pieces, and we're not downing on anybody's programs. I love going to Dr. Joe and all these other things, but they all have pieces to the puzzle. And what we are literally doing is bringing them all together to give you an all-encompassing, comprehensive experience so that you can go through it all.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, I think I think part of the root of that is, let's say you get an injury and you go to physical therapy, right? The reason why I did not finish my physical therapist license is this very reason. Now, in hindsight, maybe not the best choice, but the reason was this. You go there and it's like, oh, you have this injury. You do this exercise, this. So, hey, Debbie, here's a box. Go fit in the box. That's saying that everybody with the same, yes, there will be some similarities. Right. But you, like your fingerprints, like your DNA, is unique to you.
Yeah.
And so it's good to have these tools, but they need to be formed around you.
That's right.
And so everything that we're offering, it's really not about being better than anything else. It's that we're actually coming from a place of identifying that, look, you're going to breathe differently than you are. You're going to have this stress that this person isn't going to have. You're going to handle it this way or this way. And what we're offering is a way to give you a malleable piece of clay that has all these different tools and how to use them. And then you embark them around you to create the perfect suit for you.
Exactly.
Beautiful. And I'm loving all of this because I know all of this is true. Life's an experiment. And so, when you go around and you're getting piece by piece by piece by piece, and that's that, all right, listen, and we're going to go into a meditation here in a second. Spirituality Gone Wild was created because I was sitting there going, oh my God, it's like spirituality's gone wild. And my friend Bob goes, what'd you just say? I said, spirituality, it's like gone wild. Like it's, and it has, it is, but it's about the experiment. So I started this, and then I get to have people on who I get to learn from all the time. It was every day. It's coming back to being more so. We're getting there, guys. But almost 5 years now, I've been in this seat doing this thing so that I could get pieces from all y'all. Just give me. I'm hungry. Feed me, Seymour. Give me more. I want it all. Like, give me. You have knowledge? Oh, yeah. Come here. Let's talk. You're going to go, yeah, let's just do this thing. So, and the other thing I want to tell you all, before that I hand it back over to the gentleman here, is that they are getting ready to start Unlock Your Potential on a weekly show. It'll be on I believe we're going to do Sunday nights, but they haven't decided, I think 100%. So look for that. That's going to be coming. So every single solitary week, you're going to get a dose of Michael and Leland, and that's your prescription. Okay? Because Dr. Debbie said that's what you need. Take 2. There you go. And they do shirtless on Zooms.
He was some special.
It's so funny because that was like literally we just got done working out.
Yeah.
And I went and took a shower and saw that he was in the Zoom. I was like, oh, hey, I gotta get in here.
That's so stinking funny. All right. So without further ado, gentlemen, for those of you watching now and on the replay, make sure that you are sitting in a nice, comfortable position and relax. And I'm going to hand this over to you two.
Awesome. All right. So what we're about to move into, like she said, sit in a comfortable place for yourself. If you would, go ahead and sit up for now. You're going to keep the spine, that prana tube that your life force travels up. And I want you to keep that nice and straight as we move through some of these breathing techniques. And then at the very end, Michael here is going to zen you out and take you on a bit of a journey.
Yeah.
So for now, let's just tune into the now. So just notice your sitting bones. Notice your feet on the floor. Just notice where you are in this moment, and go ahead and close your eyes and start to tune in without judgment and without change. How do you feel? Notice where there's tension inside of the body. Notice maybe where the breath may be restricted, or whether you're breathing shallow or you're breathing deep. And again, we're just tuning in for the moment. Continue to breathe normally, organic. And notice that just paying awareness, paying attention to your breath, you start to breathe more from the belly. It's like a healthy baby when you watch them breathe in through the belly, in through the chest, and up to the head. Now that we're present, you can open your eyes and come back. And as we move through the next piece, we're going to move into something called activated breath. This is going to help to decrease the stress hormones and upregulate the happy hormones. And you're also going to be feeling quite a bit in yourself. So through this breath, it's going to be all through the nose, in and out, except for the first breath. So this first breath, when we call you in, you're going to breathe in all the way. And Michael will give you an example here. When we say to exhale, you're going to shoot it out like a spear. So as soon as you have emptied everything out, in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. And notice his chest open and big as he inhales, and in on the exhale. Open and big on the inhale. And that is going to be your breath until you hold all the way at the top. And at that point, you're going to check in and let all your shoulders drop. You're holding your breath and allowing the tension to leave your body, settle into the moment. And you will feel some feelings. You may go on quite a bit of a journey. If at any point in time it feels like it's a little too much, you can just sip out a little bit of air, just letting out a little bit and stay in it. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and move into that. So make your way into that comfortable position once again. And just taking a moment for yourself. We're going to start with something called 448 just to bring you into this moment. So close your eyes. And as you inhale, take an inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. 3, 2, 1. And exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll continue further now. We prepare to dive into activated breath. Before we adventure out, I want you to bring your attention to your heart. Because you are a being of light, and love truly is the way. The divinity within. So see your heart center. And like visualizing the waterfalls of Niagara, encompassing all around the heart, as you breathe in, see a blue-green divine essence of light traveling into your heart space. And as you exhale, feel it traveling through every cell in your body, traveling down to your feet, where little roots, like that of a baby tree, settle into the earth, 3 feet deep in all directions. Continuing to breathe the divine essence of the feminine blue-green energy traveling through the heart, creating balance within. And as you exhale, the roots dive deeper into the mother, the divine feminine, yin, chi, Mother Earth. And as it recycles, you draw that breath in. And this time, while that continues, you bring your mind up, bringing your mind up to the top of the crown, the Bahway point. You see a beautiful flower, that of a lotus, opening up, and golden divine energy travels down as you exhale, yang qi, the divine masculine, traveling through your body, intermingling with the divine feminine as it travels down through the roots, nourishing the earth. You breathe in again through that heart center, rising up to the top of the crown. Divine golden light, rise higher now to the golden sun. And as you exhale, stay there in preparation for activated breath. The cycle continues. And take a breath in any way you want. Hold it. And like shooting that arrow out with sound, breathe out. And breathe back through the nose, out. In the nose, out the nose. Breathe deep, out. Expand the chest, out. With sound, out. Like a warrior, out. Breathe deep, out. Filling your body, out. In, out. Breathe deep, out. In, out. 2 more, out. And breathe in and hold. Holding that air in the upper body, relax your shoulders behind you. Enjoy every and any pulsation, sensation, as you cannot take in too much oxygen. And tilting your head slightly back, softly exhale a silhouette of blue light connecting to source energy, the infinite all, God, whatever sound resonates with you. And let your next inhale be through that lower belly, what we call a natural breath. We're just getting started. So we'll go into round 2 now that you know you can handle it. If you got really lightheaded, that's okay, as long as you're in a safe place. But if you feel like it was too much, lessen the sound of the inhale, but still breathe deep. And if you felt like that was amazing and you want more, go deeper, get louder, full. Here we go. 1, relaxing in meditation. The yin and the yang come together like the conduit that you are between the ethers. 2, breathing in. And out the mouth, breathe out. And breathe back. Out. In. Out. Through the nose. Out. In. Out. With sound. Out. Preparing this vessel. Out. For anything. Out. And everything. Out. That comes next. Out. Present. Out. In the now. Out. Breathe in. Out. Keep breathing. Out. 2. Out. 1. Out. Keep going. Now faster. Out. In. Out. 2. Out. 1. Out. Breathe in and hold. And now literally swallow your saliva and move that air from your chest into your lower belly. And relax. If you feel like you have too much, let a tiny bit out. Let's sit in the presence. You are filled with life. An energetic being of light and love. And so every pulsation, every sensation is good. And before we breathe out, exhaling, relaxing your body, surrender. We'll do one more round. But this time, we'll do 2 pieces. One is through the nose, and one is through the mouth. Just listen for my guidance. You've got this. Breathe in. Hold it. And out the mouth, breathe out. And now breathe back. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Slow. Out. Deep. Out. With sound. Out. Keep going. Out. Almost there. Out. One more. Out. Switch to mouth. Open. Out. Full in. Easy out. Full in. Easy out. Through the mouth. Out the mouth. In. Out. Deep. Out. In. Out. With sound. Out. Full. Out. In. Out. 5 more. Out. 4. Out. 3. Out. 2. Out. 1. Hold. And in a moment, you will release 98% of your air in 1 second. Now, and sit in the presence of the void. You are filled with life. The core pillar number 1, the air, permeates every cell throughout this vessel of which you, the soul, reside. So there is no need to breathe. But now, with sound through your nose, you'll breathe in, drawing up the back of your spine, with sound up to the top of your crown. And with your eyes closed and your head slightly tilted back, holding that breath, look through the space between the forehead and the eyebrows. Maybe you see colors or shapes, patterns. And find something while you're holding that breath to be grateful for. Find someone, something. Feel it. And softly exhale like a blue silhouette. That stream of gratitude to the ethers of now.
Taking that, which you have cultivated, and now activating that goddess gland inside of us all, that pineal gland. When you take your inhale, just like you exhaled all air out of your body, you're going to restrict the flow of urine or do a Kegel, pull in those lower intrinsic muscles as you inhale. So sitting where you are now, relax into the moment. 2, take a breath in all the way to the top. And exhale all the way out. Pull in those lower muscles and inhale nice and slow through the nose, traveling that life energy up the spine, through the chest, up to the top, and hold, pressing against the pineal gland, pushing and pulling those muscles in and in. Keep pulling, activating. Pull those muscles in. Pressing against the pineal gland, activating those life-giving juices, and exhale, let it all go. And feel that real you, that healing cocktail being released. And one more of those. Go big on this one and allow yourself to go all in. Take a breath all the way up to the top. Breathe in all the way and hold it. Exhale, shoot it out like a spear. Pull in those muscles and very slowly inhale as you pull those muscles in, that life force traveling up through the chest, through the chin, up to the top, and hold. See the pineal gland as you pull those muscles in, continue to contract and pull, pressing, activating, awakening. And exhale, let it all go. And sit with that for just a moment.
And now, staying in that space, see yourself laying in a sea of sand. Surrounded on the perfect sunny day. And allow yourself to see your energetic body begin to rise out of the vessel, connected by a blue tether, a light cord. And allow yourself to float up, effortless, weightless. Feeling the warmth of the day, you look around. And to your right, these clear skies. And to your left, these dark clouds. But staying in the presence of now, you rise higher and you see a beautiful, billowy cloud. And you float up. Taking a breath in, you travel into the cloud. And like the warmest embrace you can remember in your life, you feel that connection in this moment as you travel through the cloud. As you exit the cloud, you see the space, the outer and inner space. And as you prepare to exit the earth, to reach for the stars, breathe in. And as you exhale and you exit the earth space, you transform into that of the blue phoenix. Effortlessly, you float through space. Breathing the ethers, being breathed by the ethers. And you head toward the sun. You are attracted to it, and you know it is the place where you belong in this moment. So you head toward the sun, drawing closer, effortless. weightless. And as you head toward the sun, you observe there are still attachments. Perhaps you observe as you float, there are still stories. But the further you come away, the closer you come to the sun, the stories are not identifiable. But knowing that they still exist, you draw closer to the sun and you draw your arms, your wings in, and you begin to spiral and dive into that sun, letting it burn off all that once was, all that no longer serves, letting it consume all attachments, all trauma, all blame, all shame, all that is not the I. And breathe in as you exit that sun. And your mind's eye opens and you see a blue silhouette of energy. And as you exhale, you reach for it. And you touch it. And a spark transmits through you, through the cord. And you know in this moment you will never be the same again. Because you are connected to the infinite all. And you are peace. You are light. You are the divine essence of love. And so you head back. You head back toward the earth, toward your physical vessel. But even the stars are brighter. Even the colors of space all around you is brighter. And you enter into the earth now, into that bright billowing cloud. And the embrace is even warmer than you ever remembered. And you take a breath in. There's nothing but love. And as you exhale and exit that cloud, you return to the shape of your physical self in an energetic body. And as you float down toward that vessel in the sand, you look around. And off to the right, clear skies. You look left, clear skies. And as you come closer to your body, you know the journey was real. And so you breathe in. And gracefully, as you exhale, you re-enter into your body and you feel the sand in your hands, the breeze on your face, and you realize that every grain of sand is a representation of every single entity on this planet. And we are all interconnected in a sea of chi. And so breathe in and slowly open your eyes. Welcoming back your new day.
Nice. Be easy on yourself, be gentle, of course, and make sure everybody you hydrate through the day after moving that much energy.
Yeah.
The link to that was amazing, by the way. Thank you. And the link for everybody to join this Saturday is in the comment section. Here it is again.
I love when you do that.
Because
Oh, yeah, there we go.
that's it right there. And the links in the chat. I love this. This is beautiful. I love becoming beautiful with you guys. Clint, you rock my world. Oh my gosh.
Clint, Evolving Mindsets, also a veteran. You might want to, I'll share her Calendly link. You got to come talk with her, Clint.
I love that. So I am going, yes, please do. And one more time, everybody, there is the Eventbrite for this Saturday. How much is it?
$27 or 3 cups of Starbucks, or for some people, 1 cup of Starbucks.
I love when he points that out.
Well,
it's 2 hours. It gives you it's 2 hours. It gives you a whole week of extra time to view and review.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you have to show up late or you have to leave, that you miss out. Also, we will be paying homage to the veterans, both fallen and present. So you won't want to miss that. We will be covering tapping and emotional freedom technique, right? Letting go of the past trauma, blame, shame, teaching you how to embrace the now by creating new habits, utilizing breath. And if you liked this experience at all, imagine this was not even scratching the surface. And then imagine putting music behind it that allows you to journey, even in the meditation where you are not even aware that you're here. Yeah. That kind of a thing. And it's just the start of where we're going and what we want to share. There is decades worth of information to share, and the intention is to turn it into days, 2 hours at a time.
Exactly.
I love it. So you guys, please join. The link is right there. If you have any problems with that, just hit me up. I'll send you a link. You can just hit me up on Spirituality Gone Wild. And I want to also do a shout out. This Wednesday is a replay of the Self-Love Fest. If you've missed it last week, we're replaying it this week. And on June 1st, we're starting a month-long journey of self-love. It's $222. We have special guests every single week that'll be live with us in a private Zoom, and you can join us with that. It's going to be an amazing experience. And get ready for the upcoming event, Symphony of Gratitude, and the 5th anniversary of Spirituality Gone Wild. And that is August 8th, Lionsgate. In that, I didn't make that up. I did not do it on purpose.
It just happened?
I was like, I literally heard from Spirit, you're going to do this now. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't have these things ready. And I'm like, no, I want to do it at my time, which would probably be never. Right. So right. I was like, okay, fine. So I did. And then I don't know, it was like a year later or 2 years later. I'm like, oh my God, we've already been doing this for 2 years. And I look online. I'm like, I wonder when I started this page. And I look and I'm like, that's Lionsgate. Now, at that point, I knew it, but then I didn't know it. I know it then. Now I do. But yeah, just something that happened. And it's sort of like when Spirit talked to me the other day and said, if you're going to teach self-love, you better be fully embracing and embodying that in which you speak. And I'm like, okay. All right.
You know what? Right. You know what's beautiful about that, Debbie, is that so often, and it's not a knock on anybody, but so often people will teach because they've learned a thing or something, but they just teach to teach.
Exactly.
And And I have always been adamant about that. Even practicing Qigong since I was 11, I won't teach Qigong if I'm not practicing Qigong.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
for me, I think when you are, because you have to authentically not just know it, but embody it.
Yes.
In order to be able to transmit the essence.
Yeah.
And amplify someone's ability to grow. Can you teach it and be teaching it well and everything? Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be the guy on stage that's not the authentic version of what I am when I'm not on stage.
Right.
I want to be what I am no matter where it's at, because there's no act. This is me. This is who I am.
And if you were a fly on the wall, you would see us every day meditating, breath work, you name it. We're doing it.
I love this. And so Josie and I started this weekend with 2 small changes. 2 small changes. What 2 small changes am I going to make? Because if there's anything I needed to work on more than anything, it was probably what I'm putting in my mouth.
Sure.
So, I no sugar, no flour, no white stuff, nothing that